We're throwing it back today. So today, before we get into like what we're actually going to talk about today I want to say that it is my 500th YouTube video on this channel.
Yay! Thank you all so much.
Some of you have been around from the very beginning.
Yep.
And I want to say thank you. And wow, you are very patient with me because I talk a lot and I've taken breaks that have been unplanned here and there, but I am so grateful to every single one of you that watches the videos on this channel, leaves a comment, talks to me, sends me a piece of mail, sends my mom a birthday card.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all so
Cheers.
much for being here.
Thank you.
So today we're going to throw it way back to the very first video that we did on this channel, and it was a movie chat. I'm pretty sure it was a Disney movie chat, and I'm pretty sure we filmed it in September and I didn't post it until February. So this one, the turnaround is going to be a whole lot quicker. But today we're going to talk about Halloween movies. Maybe you can tell by what we're wearing. I'm wearing sweatpants. I think we all are.
Yeah.
And that's because
Comfy
we're
pants,
We're at
'cause
home.
we're at home.
It's a Sunday night. We're comfortable. But she's wearing a Hocus Pocus spirit jersey, and I'm wearing a brand new TJ Maxx find, and it's an orange like sweatshirt sort of thing with black cats all over it, and I want to get green
glitter
puffy paint, and I want to put green glitter in the
Eyeballs.
eyes of all of these cats.
I think it'll be so cool.
I think it
It'll
needs
be so cool.
glitter. And Emma's wearing a Sanderson Sisters sweatshirt.
Yeah, I got this on Etsy.
So we're
Big
themed.
fan.
We're themed because we love a theme, and we also love movies, and so we like talking about movies with each other, and so we're going to do that with you guys today. We're going to talk about some Halloween movies, and not all of these. We don't do horror.
Yeah,
I
we
don't
don't
like
do
that.
like scary Halloween.
My tolerance for scare is pretty low.
Yeah,
I
we're
don't
wimps,
tolerate it.
and we're not afraid of saying that. It's a good thing for us because
Yeah.
we can always go to bed and get a good night's sleep after watching Halloween movies.
Yeah, the kind that we watch.
Some of these push me a little bit to my limit. Like there's one in one of these stacks that we're going to talk about, and it's like, whoa, that's kind of creepy, kind of scary. But none of these give me nightmares.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We watched one last night that literally makes my hair stand up on the back of my neck and makes my heart kind of race, woo, because I'm kind of doing one of those.
Yeah.
But it doesn't give me bad dreams. So
Yeah.
I do really enjoy watching it.
So if you don't like the super scary horror movies
movie.
that come out around this time of year, then you can get in our bus and we'll watch all these movies together. So we're going to talk
These
about...
are the alternatives for that.
Yeah, these are for like the Halloween-y vibes, but without the scary.
I think if
Yeah.
you want to be scared, go to the mailbox and get a letter from the government.
IRS.
Yeah, that there's something wrong with your taxes, or you get a phone call from your doctor that they need you to come back right now. I
Right
think
now.
Those are
Right now.
really, for me, that's really scary. I don't like horror.
No.
Me neither. So I have a stack of movies that are, I think,
Conventional Halloween.
pretty conventional, pretty classic Halloween time movies. And Emma's not going to pick up her stack because it's so much bigger
It's
than
very
mine.
big.
And they're less like Halloween, explicitly Halloween.
The
movies.
best way I can think to say it is that they are Halloween movies in the same way that Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
They're sort of thrillers, sort of tension.
Or they have like a theme
suspense.
that is Halloween-y, even if it's not Halloween in the movie. It's like, oh, there's witchcraft, or there's sorcery, or there's magic. And to be clear, I don't have Harry Potter in this list. We had an argument just in this house, like I think a week and a half ago, on whether Harry Potter is a Christmas movie or Halloween movie. That's up to you. We're not going to get into that.
I'm curious if you think it's Halloween or if it's Christmas. So if
Yeah.
you don't mind leaving
Leave
that
a comment down below if you think it's...
I am curious
Here's
about
the thing.
that.
We've already had that debate on a video that just went up on
Oh,
this channel.
sorry.
And so some people...
I retract that.
Some people agree with us that it's a Halloween movie.
Mm-hmm.
Some people agree with Anthony and say that it's a Christmas movie. And some people think it's just like an anytime. It's its own thing.
Okay.
So
Fair enough.
Harry Potter is not included in this list.
No.
Because we've already had that debate.
Yeah.
I stand by my opinion that Harry Potter is a Halloween movie because there are witches and goblins and ghosts and all that other kind of stuff in it. So I think we're going to start with the classically Halloween movies first.
And then we'll move on to the For the Vibes category.
Right. So we're going to go in alphabetical order, starting with C. we have Clue.
Clue.
The movie, because I don't have any in the A's, but C is the first one I have. Clue the movie. This is hilarious.
It's
this is
hysterical.
very, very funny. Murderously funny movie based on the board game.
It's got Tim Curry in it. It's got...
Yeah, okay.
It's got so many people in this
It's an
movie.
ensemble cast.
It is.
Yeah.
It's Eileen Brennan, Tim Curry, Madeline Kahn, Christopher Lloyd, Michael McKean, Martin Mull, and Leslie Ann Warren.
I love this movie.
If you haven't seen it, it's very funny, and I totally recommend it. And the DVD is great because there are 3 alternative endings
Yeah.
to this movie, if you did not know.
When they released it, depending on what part of the country you were in, that's the ending that you saw.
Yeah.
But the DVD has all 3 endings.
Yeah, and you can pick like a random ending when or released for this DVD version. You can pick it so that it will give you a random ending, or you can pick for it to show you all 3 of the endings consecutively. And I think all 3 of the endings are kind of good.
Yeah.
So I think I could see it going anyway, but I like it. It's very funny. And it definitely feels, it's like a murder mystery.
Yeah, it is the classic whodunit.
Next, we go to Disney. Coco, obviously.
Yeah. Not only does it take place on
Day of the
October
Dead.
31st.
Well, is it November 1st that's Day of the Dead?
oh,
But,
yeah.
Is
All Saints is first and then All Souls is next. So Halloween, November 1st, November 2nd.
okay.
And it's
Either way,
it's alphabetical.
it is a beautiful Pixar movie. And for whatever reason, I feel like a
Gorgeous.
lot of people didn't watch it. And
God
it's
knows
such
why.
a good movie.
It's such a
Colors
good
are
movie.
so vivid.
God, it's so beautiful.
The dog in this movie reminds me of our dog Smokey.
Oh, it's so cute.
And Frida Kahlo in this movie is great. It's such a good movie. If you haven't seen it, go
Watch
watch
it.
Coco this season because I feel like everybody needs to watch this movie. It is so good. It's very cute. It's a Pixar movie. Can you go wrong with a Pixar movie?
No.
I don't think so. Next, we have Dark Shadows. This is a Johnny Depp movie. He is a vampire. And
Really?
what? Do you think he's typecast? So obviously the vampire thing makes me think of this as a Halloween movie. I personally wouldn't watch this outside of Halloween time. On the front it says wickedly funny, but you know, it's kind of a little bit creepy.
How many of you remember growing up watching Dark Shadows? Wasn't it like
Like a radio show?
no, it was on TV like a soap opera. After school, I would watch the Dark Shadows show on TV.
Wait a minute. Is that because you do like a bit from that, don't you?
But I used to like that show, but afraid to watch that show. Did anybody else watch Dark Shadows when they were growing up, when they were a kid? It was a soap opera, I think.
Death Becomes Her. This is one that I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah, I have.
And she's
I
never
haven't
seen
yet.
it. This one I watched for the very first time just a couple of years ago with my friends Adam and Sherry. And there's a jump scare in here.
Yeah.
Freaked me out.
Yeah.
I didn't
Care for
expect it. But after that, like, this is a really, really funny movie.
And it's got a really cool cast.
It verges a little bit on the creepy, scary, but it's not too creepy, scary. It's another PG-13.
Because it's got some humor.
Meryl Streep, Bruce Willis, and Goldie Hawn.
It is.
Love all 3 of them individually. I think the 3 of them together in a dark comedy would be hysterical. So I do look forward to watching that one.
Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters. So you've heard the classic fairy tale of Hansel and Gretel and how, you know, a witch kidnapped them in the woods by luring them in with a candy house. This is them grown up and they have turned pro witch hunters. So they slay witches for hire.
Yeah.
And this is Jeremy Renner.
I think we watched this for the first time right after we had seen The Avengers for the first time when it first came out in 2012. And so I was like, I want to see more stuff with more of this cast in it. And we just kind of happened upon this.
This one is rated R. And it says for strong fantasy, horror, violence, and gore, brief sexuality, nudity, and language. So not for kids. But also not scary. Just maybe a little bit gory, a little bit more adult.
It's
Yeah.
more of a thriller than a horror, if that makes sense.
Back to Disney with Hocus Pocus.
Yes, the classic. Obviously, it's our number one. I
Yeah.
mean, and we just watched this for the first time, I think in 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
We hadn't seen it before then, and it is The classic.
The first time I watched it, I was not a huge fan, but the more I watched it, the more it grew on me. I love Bette Midler, and I know some of my friends do not care for Bette Midler, but I love Bette Midler, and I think she's got such a tremendous voice. And I think her song, because I think she's the one responsible for the song, I think it really made the movie.
Oh, it really did.
It really did.
And I love all of the characters in this movie. I love that the boy is such a good brother. Mm-hmm. I love the way that all of them band together and are able to... We're not going to spoil it, but I just think it's really cool. And I think it's a really well-scripted movie.
I'm in it for the cat.
Yeah.
But I love
Thackeray Binks.
the movie. I didn't like the second one as much, though.
No.
I mean, we watched it when it came out last year. I tried watching it again this year, and I quit halfway through.
The development of the characters takes a little bit long for me in the sequel.
It just felt like there were too many storylines they were trying to build or write for us, and they didn't finish any of them. Hotel Transylvania. And this is a box with all three of them in it.
This is like an obvious... Oh, yeah, obviously that's Halloween.
Well, they're monsters.
Yeah.
Now, I get how you could think of the third one, because they're on a cruise ship, as like a summer vacation.
But it's still them, and that's like the point, is that they are monsters.
And to me, they're more wholesome monsters.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's such a good dad.
He's a wonderful dad.
They're also upbeat, and I don't know. It's a really good kids movie, I think. But
it's got Andy Samberg in it, and I love Andy Samberg.
And Selena Gomez and Adam Sandler. I mean, even just as a movie, I like these movies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not Disney, but they're funny and they're cute and they're well written, and I enjoy them.
Yeah, and it's nice to just sit down with a movie like this and have like a little pumpkin-y treat and then go to bed. Like,
yeah, and not be scared.
Yeah. Right. Okay, this one's new to me, and this one is Little Shop of Horrors. And Mom had seen this one. It's got Ricky Moranis in it, and it's a musical, and it's very cute. I love the music in it, and it's about an exotic potted plant, and I loved this movie. I've had some of the songs in it stuck in my head, and I've been singing them for weeks. It's really cute. It's really funny. There's a lot of people in this. So this was $5 on Amazon when I bought it. So I regret absolutely nothing when it comes to that one. Next is a family favorite, Murder by Death.
It was one of my parents' favorites when I used to watch it with my parents.
Yeah, this movie is from 1976.
Ensemble cast.
Yes, and the people in this movie, Eileen Brennan, James Coco, James Cronwell, Peter Falk, Alec Guinness, Elsa Lanchester, David Niven, Peter Sellers, Maggie Smith, Nancy Walker, and Estelle Winwood.
That is so cool that they got those people together.
And what's great about it is that they introduce you to all of the characters within the first like 10 minutes. And then those are the only characters. And it's just kind of like a box episode of a TV show where you're just stuck in one place for the whole time.
It'd be a great play.
It would be.
For a high school or a college to put on, or a community theater.
Yeah.
It's hysterical.
It is really very funny. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
It's satirical, so in that sense, there is no clear-cut ending. It's just like whatever you want to think of it.
It is really very funny.
Yeah.
It's dry humor, but some of it is, slapstick humor. So it's really a great movie.
Yeah.
A lot of our bits that we do as a family come from this movie.
Yeah.
And
I
of
like
course-
your theory, except it's stupid.
Except for one thing. Yes?
Stupid.
It's stupid. Most stupid thing I ever heard.
Talking cow on wall.
Talking cow on wall. Moose. It's a moose, you imbecile.
So if you haven't seen it, you should watch it at least one time.
At least one time.
This is one of our family favorites. So if you want to get in on some of our family jokes, so when you meet us, you'll understand what we're talking about at all times, watch that movie. Next is another recent
Very
movie.
recent.
And I have to thank our friends Erin and Ilona for introducing us to Over the Garden
Oh,
Wall.
wow. That is so cool.
It's such a beautiful...
It's not a movie. It's a TV series.
It's like a mini-series.
And it was on Cartoon Network, and it is Elijah Wood.
Yeah.
We love Elijah Wood, obviously.
Yeah. So this is really very cute. It's animated, and it's got some songs in it. So there's 10 episodes is all. And it's very cute.
Easy to binge watch.
Yeah, the first time you watch it, you're like, oh, this is a cute series. And then you get to the end, and you're like, whoa.
This is dark.
But then you watch it a second time, and you're like, oh, this has some meaning to it. And it's great. So we own the digital version on Amazon Prime, and then this was $7.50 on Amazon Prime, so I bought it on DVD.
We like owning the physical copy.
Yeah, sometimes we can't get good Wi-Fi.
Well, I'm a sucker for physical media anyway.
Yeah.
Sleepy Hollow. I watched this one for the first time last year. This is another Tim Burton movie, Johnny Depp movie. Christina Ricci is in this movie. I don't know, I really liked it. It looks really scary, and I don't think it is as scary as it appears on the box. It is rated R for graphic horror, violence, and gore, but it didn't give me nightmares. It didn't make me uncomfortable at any point in time. It was just like a retelling of the Headless Horseman story for me, and I really liked it. And I don't think Mom or Emma have seen it, but I would like to introduce them to it because I don't think it's as scary as
They say.
as you're led to believe by the cover and by the theming of the movie. Next, I have Snow White and the Huntsman. So this is the retelling of the Snow White story from the producer of Alice in Wonderland. And it's got Kristen Stewart as Snow White, Chris Hemsworth as the huntsman, and
Charlize
Theron was the evil queen. And I really liked this movie. I want to watch this one again this year.
I think it's scary. Not like horror, but no, I think it fits perfectly.
Yeah, no, this is it. Even on the back, it says this is no fairy tale, and I mean it is, but it's not the fairy tale that
you're familiar
become
with.
in love, and I like it
Yeah, I like Snow White
because the evil queen's a witch.
Yeah.
And I think witches are Halloweeny.
They are.
The last one I have is another family favorite, and it's Young Frankenstein. This one, how is this rated PG?
This was another one of my parents' favorites. It's a Mel Brooks special.
Yeah.
And there are so many innuendos and the dry humor in it.
Yeah.
And there is some slapstick in it, but the cast of this is fantastic.
This is another one where we do a bunch of bits from this movie. Stay close to the candles.
The staircase can be treacherous.
Cloris Leachman is flawless in her role.
Yeah, so we love this one, and that is the end of my almost explicitly Halloween movie list.
And I love Marty Feldman and the eyes.
So,
You want me to just hand some to you?
yeah, here. These are just like the first half of For the Vibes. Right off the top, we have Abduction with Taylor Lautner. Now, this is the one that we just watched last night that kind of raises the hair on the back of Mom's neck and gives her a little thrill. It is like a...
Because you know something's coming. You can tell by the tension and the music, and you just know something's going to happen. And then you're like, ah, there it did, it happened.
There's really no jump scare. It is much more of a thriller than it is a horror or anything else.
Yeah.
It's like your first introduction to the spy thriller genre. And I really didn't expect Mom to love this one as much as she did. But I, on a whim, showed it to her last year, and she loved it. So that's a solid classic in our house. Next is Bedknobs and Broomsticks. Now, this has Angela Lansbury in it, and it also has... What's his name?
Is it David Tomlinson?
Mr. Banks.
Oh, they don't say it. Yeah, it is he was Mr. Banks in the Mary Poppins movie.
Yeah, David Tomlinson.
David Tomlinson, yeah. And it's kind of a musical, but it's not like overtly a musical.
It's like Mary Poppins.
Yes.
But not Mary Poppins.
With some really good, catchy tunes.
Yeah. So
It'll give you a nice earworm.
yes, definitely. And it's definitely worth a watch, especially if you have Disney Plus.
And it's Halloweeny because she's a witch.
She's a witch. There's magic.
And there's a cat.
There's a cat. Jeepers Creepers. Big Trouble in Little China. This is probably like a cult classic from the 80s. It's got Kurt Russell in it. It's got, what's her name?
Kim
Cattrall. Kim Cattrall. And they are just both so good in this movie. It's just
The dynamic between the actors and actresses in this movie I thought was great.
Yeah.
And there's a, scene with kind of a monster in it, and I think that's the same monster out of the movie Creepshow, if any of you guys ever saw Creepshow.
So it's set in San Francisco in like 1980 something. I think that both of the two leads are fantastic. I really like the storyline. It's put together really well. There's a lot of practical effects and there's a little bit of like special effects, but it's not too audacious because it was the 80s, but I think they did really well and it's a really fun movie.
And I love the three storms in it.
Yes. Here's another Disney one. This is Blackbeard's Ghost. Now this has one of our favorite old-timey actors in it.
Dean Jones.
Dean Jones, yes, but I was thinking of
Peter Ustinov.
Oh, yeah.
Peter Ustinov has voiced some classic Disney characters, and he is just a great actor, and he really carries this movie. His dynamic with Dean Jones in this movie is hysterical. Again, if you have Disney Plus, highly worth a watch, and it's Halloween because he's a ghost. Despicable Me, and this goes for, I just grabbed one movie. There are multiple, but you could watch any of them at Halloween time, I think, because I mean, he's like a villain. And that's all the connection that I really feel is needed to be a Halloween movie in this category for the vibes only. All right, and then this is another 80s classic. This is The Goonies. I mean, if you don't know The Goonies as a movie, then
Where have you been?
Where have you been? Where have you been? There's really nothing that you can say about this one other than
Go watch it. If you haven't seen it.
Highly recommend.
And even if you have, give it a watch.
This is, I think, one of the only true musical in this list, and it's Into the Woods. And there's so much magic and like witchcraft and like fairy tale kind of retelling in this specific music. And you can watch any version of this musical that you want to. This is just our favorite. All right, so we're into the M's, good and proper now. So
don't be fooled. This stack is dwindling.
There
There's
are more
down here.
There are more. So to start the second half, we have Mannequin. This has Kim Cattrall in it, so she features twice on this list. And then, what is his name? McCarty.
Andrew McCarthy.
Andrew McCarthy. He's been in a few different movies, so you'll probably recognize him if you've seen anything from around this time.
There's a lot of chick flicks and rom-coms.
And that's pretty much what this is, but she was cursed or blessed to be a mannequin in ancient Egypt.
Yeah, she was an Egyptian princess.
We don't know. And
the soundtrack for this movie is everything.
It's so good. It's so purely 80s, and the love story in this is really, really cute.
Yeah.
And I want to shop at the store.
Yes! Yes! It's set in Philadelphia, which I didn't realize until the last time.
And I think one of the big songs is Jefferson Starship.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, Grace Slick had a voice. That lady could sing.
She really could. Another one that is on this list for the vibes, just because it has witchcraft or magic in it, Matilda. This is such a sweet movie. If you have not seen Matilda, I could not recommend it more. It might top a few of the others on this list that I'm just like, oh, just go watch it. It's so good. I love this movie in particular because of, what is her name? Mara Wilson, who plays Matilda. The way she played her was so flawless, and I just adore her so much. And of course, it's also got Danny DeVito, who's an icon, and Rhea Perlman in this movie as well. And they do a very good job.
I'm excited about this next one.
Yeah, me too.
Men in Black. And this is something that I was looking at our movie list and I was like, oh, what can I put in this category for the vibes? And then I saw it and I was like, obviously this belongs in the Halloween for the vibes because, I mean, it's kind of spooky. It's got aliens and like monsters. And like they're, fighting to save humanity, which is a lot of what like horror movies and stuff cover now. So,
and we've been watching these since we were little. If I can find it on home video, I will insert a clip here
of us dancing,
of us jamming as very small children to the song. And I don't. Is
Will
it the
Smith
second
sings it
movie?
at
No, it's the first one.
It's the end of the first movie. Gosh,
yeah.
it's so good.
I used to play it again and again and again for them.
That's the men in.
It was on VHS tape, and we would make her rewind it so we could dance to it again.
Continue to dance to it.
If there was one thing that I could trade my stethoscope or ink pen for, it would be the neuralizer.
The
If I could have-
deneuralizer?
If I could have one fancy
Job.
medical tool in my black box.
Yeah, she would
that's
want a
what I
sonic
would want.
screwdriver. She would want a deneuralizer.
I would want a deneuralizer.
The Mummy, specifically the 1999, the original.
I love that movie.
This is the one with all three in it because we do like this movie enough to watch all three of them. Yes, even the third one. The fourth one that they made is like,
Too far off. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen
The
it.
first one and the second one were so good.
Good.
And then they missed the mark.
Well, they recast.
some with the third one.
Yeah.
And then but the first two are great.
The first two are fantastic. We watched the third one because we love Rick O'Connell as a character. And I still love it for whatever reason. But it's definitely almost belongs in the definitely Halloween pile just because it is so
Creepy. Scary.
spooky.
Mummies.
Mummies. The Mummy is a classic Halloween character.
I was a mummy for my very first Halloween.
She
Yes,
was.
she was.
I was almost but not quite one.
Yep.
And so I was almost but not quite walking.
And I just put her in a white onesie, and she had on some like work boots, so she kind of was clunking along. And then I put white cling draped off of her and around her, and bandaged her up, and she would kind of walk like a mummy. And she was a great Halloween character.
So this is one that we just had Mom watch last year too.
I love this one too.
This is, I think, the only live action Nancy Drew movie, definitely that we've seen. I don't know that they've made another
I'm
one.
so disappointed they didn't do more because I really enjoyed this movie.
This is a great movie. It's not a completely accurate depiction of either Nancy Drew as a character from the books, or Carson Drew as a character from the books, or Ned Dickerson as a character from the books, but it is a great movie. And it is really, really fun to watch.
It's a great thriller.
And it has a fantastic soundtrack. And it's actually really pretty spooky.
This is the one that pushes it for me on this
Really?
movie.
This one?
The kid makes me feel brave because she knows that she's gonna, the bad guy's gonna get her, and she just meets it head on. So watching her, the kid, in the movie makes me feel more brave.
So we've done a couple like spy thrillers, and I'd count Nancy Drew as one of them. This is the epitome of spy thrillers.
Yeah.
North by Northwest with Cary Grant. And wait, who is the girl? Is that Eva Marie Saint?
Yeah.
She is so good. It's been a while since I've watched this movie. I do think I want to watch it again.
Who's the villain? Because he's a famous actor too. I don't know if they put
James
his...
Mason?
Yeah. I mean, it is just a really good thriller. And it starts off so innocently,
So
where they
innocent.
mistake this guy's identity, and he gets thrown into this thriller, and he handles it marvelously.
Yeah.
And of course, Cary Grant could never do anything wrong as an actor. He does so good in this movie. And it has, I think, the most intense climax of a spy thriller that I have ever seen at like the very, very end.
Watching this when you guys were kids is one of the reasons why we took you up there
Up to Mount
Rushmore.
to Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
It's just such a good movie. And when they finally like tell you, like they're doing the exposition and they're telling you, oh, this is why this happened and whatever. They're like laying out all the pieces for you. And you're like, oh my God, I can't believe all of this. Like you're just it's like getting hit in the face repeatedly with plot points, but in the best possible way. I only got the first one of these, but any of these from this series with Peter Sellers could work. This
Pink
is
Panther?
The Pink Panther with Peter Sellers. I love this movie. It also has David Nivens in it. This is such a
And it's got a baby. Who's the baby guy in it that's so handsome?
Robert Wagner?
Yeah.
yeah, it's got Robert Wagner too. It's just, I think, also a spy thriller kind of thing, but a Pink Panther, so it's more of a comedy than it is a thriller. And it's just a classic good movie. If you're gonna watch any Pink Panther movie, definitely just watch the first one.
Some of them were really good. Some of them
are
not so good.
but this one is really good.
Yeah.
And a continuing theme, I also just pulled the first one of these, but Pirates of the Caribbean, or Caribbean, whatever you want to pronounce it like. I mean, there's curses, there's hexes, there's magic, there's like a spooky kind of
skeleton.
And there's like a war going on too in the later ones. This is definitely, it almost again belongs in the obviously Halloween just because of how spooky it is.
And so many kids for Halloween want to be pirates.
Oh, yeah.
I was a pirate for Halloween a couple of times.
Yeah. I love being a pirate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
me
they
too.
did that trilogy with the whole series, but that first trilogy part of Pirates of the Caribbean, so right. Again, part of a continuing theme, anything Scooby-Doo. This is the, I think it's just like the original cartoons that first aired in like the 50s.
I think there's 8 or 12, but this is the first season.
Yeah. And I love them. They have done no wrong, ever.
Those meddling kids.
It's a lot, I think, of like the classic, like, you know, I don't want to say like spy group, but like,
They solve mysteries.
yeah, like teams who like solve mysteries or solve crimes. I think a lot of those tropes come from Scooby-Doo, and Scooby-Doo did them first, and they did them really well. The Spiderwick Chronicles. We haven't watched this one yet this year. I really, really want to. It is so good.
It's intense.
The lore explanation for this movie is so detailed and beautiful. This is a beautiful movie regardless.
It is a pretty movie.
And it's really intense. Like just Mom said, like it's just like you're watching it and your heart is racing because the way that they have managed to distill all of the tension into the soundtrack and into like the actors themselves, the way they perform is uncanny. It's just really,
They did a great job.
really great job. Okay, there's only 2 more.
I love both of the last ones.
Both of the last
Me
ones.
too.
Okay, so this is the only movie that we have ever seen more than twice in a theater when
Yeah.
it was still like coming out for the first time. We went and we saw Stardust.
Like 3 or 4 times in the theater.
I think the first time was a whim. And
Yeah.
we went home and we were like, gosh, that was so
That
good.
was really
Let's do that
good.
again.
Let's do it again. And we went back, and then we went back, and then we went back, and I think we went a total 4 times.
We went back until it was not in theaters anymore, and then we bought it on DVD.
And now we can watch it whenever we
and
want.
it's another Michelle Pfeiffer movie. And she does such a great job in this movie.
It is a little bit of an ensemble cast. It's got Ben Barnes, it's got Claire Danes, it's got
Michelle Pfeiffer.
It's got Michelle Pfeiffer. It's got Robert De Niro. It's got
Charlie Cox.
Charlie Cox. That's who it is. Charlie Cox is the main character.
And they all did such a great job.
It's a great movie.
It's based on a book by Neil Gaiman,
Yes.
and I like the book. I love the movie.
One of the
It's-
rare cases where the movie did it better.
yeah, it is.
Ooh, we almost should have had Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, yeah. I
Sherlock
was doing
Holmes
an
is another
honorable
one.
mention.
Honorable mention as Sherlock Holmes, specifically the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes movies.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed that he and Jude Law can get back together and do the 3rd one, because I know they have really been wanting to get
And
that
I
done.
love those Sherlock Holmes movies.
And she loves the soundtracks for him too,
Yeah.
rightfully
Yeah.
so. They're
They were
great.
good. And then the Enola Holmes movies.
Ooh, the Enola Holmes movies, they're so good.
Yeah.
Amazing. Millie Bobby Brown, kiss you right on your forehead. They're really great.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, Tremors. This is the most true to like horror kind of movie that we have in the entire list.
Sort
I
of think The Blob meets The Southwest.
Yes. Yes.
The scary thing.
It's in the
that
90s
comes out of the ground.
and nobody knows what it is and they have to fight it off.
Yeah.
There's 4 movies
Yeah.
in this box.
In this box. Definitely watch the first one. I do like the second one. I don't think I've ever seen 3 or 4.
And
have.
if you ever like playing the Kevin Bacon movie actor game,
Oh, yeah, this is a
one
great
that
movie
you're
to
gonna
start.
want to know because you can connect Reba McEntire through Kevin Bacon
Because
through
Reba
this-
McEntire is in the first movie.
through this movie. I mean, it is.
And she does a great job. She does fantastic. Oh, and one of the guys in the first one is also in Big
Yep.
Trouble in Little China.
Yep.
So that's how he, oh, and yeah, so Kevin Bacon, that's how they're connected. And how Kevin Bacon is connected to Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
So,
Was it 3 degrees of Kevin Bacon?
Yeah, 3 Degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
It's a great corner piece for the Kevin Bacon game.
Great movies. Great movies.
What are your go-to Halloween movies.
Yeah, tell us what are you guys Friday the 13th and
Like,
was it the clown? I don't
Psycho.
I don't get the clown.
These are just the ones that
thing.
we own on DVD because
Yeah.
we've seen Halloween Town on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I don't think I have.
I have, and I like Hocus Pocus better.
Yeah.
But I'm going to see Twitches.
But these are the kinds of Halloween movies that we like. This is the genre and how we enjoy Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this was fun. I really enjoy talking movies. Thank you guys for sticking around for this video, which is probably the length of a movie by now.
Probably.
Yeah, and thank you for sticking around for 500 videos on this channel.
Thank you very much. We do appreciate it. And I know Auburn especially appreciates it because it's her channel.
Yeah, but it's really nice to have people to talk to on the internet because sometimes they get sick of listening to me.
Never.
All right, that's it. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and you guys will see us in another video really soon.
Bye.